Hi, Caitlin. It's Maddie. I'm going to be going over the document I created for Chandler, and I thought it'd be easier just to do a video recording of me explaining it. That way, we kind of don't have to do email tag to try to set a time. Because I know it's later in the week, just easier probably to do it this way. So yeah, let's hop right in. So this cover page right here, just says her name, her company, and then her original ask on the document, which was determining key performance indicators for resume writers and LinkedIn optimizers within the industry, figuring out how to measure success, what tools do I need, how do I track success, how do others usually track progress, is it using entry and exit surveys, how are they integrated into the customer process. So when I met with Chandler earlier this week, I kind of sat her down and said, this question doesn't really make the most sense because you have four different things, but they all kind of go over how to measure success. So I told her, can you create three questions from that? And she said, basically, like what I would like for you to discover is what channels are my competitors using to be successful? How can I be successful in marketing? And then how can I retain customers in the long run? So those are her three goals for the call. And those are three of the headers that I will go into in this paper. So I put the little table of contents here as well for reference for her, which paragraphs are on which page. And then I'll send her the Google Doc and have things bookmarked as well to be a little bit more professional. But I just put this into a PDF to make it look more cleaner for the video call with you. So first, I wanted her to see me pretending to be a client. So I said I put myself into the shoes of a prospective client. I simply looked up LinkedIn and resume help, and I immediately saw many freelance writers on LinkedIn. All the top links were for freelance. And then I clicked hire top resume writers. LinkedIn, 4 tabs popped up, and they asked me to select a city. So once I got into LinkedIn, it was like Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Raleigh, North Carolina. So obviously I was like, oh, Raleigh, North Carolina, that's a city I know, and that's near me. So that's what I clicked, and then that Katie was the first girl that popped up. So for here, I said what I collected from my research. I noticed that there's 2 categories for resume and LinkedIn writers. You either work for a big resume help business like Resume Writing Lab, Top Resume, Resume Professional Writing, or you work freelance. So since you're not working for one of those big companies, you're working against other writers. The biggest way you can stand out in the market is improving your SEO, search engine optimization. You want Fairy Job, MUVA, or Chandler to be on the top of people's pages. So how can I measure success? Google Analytics. Google Analytics is your friend. You can use this to see how many people are viewing your website. From there, you can track any patterns. So for example, are more people clicking on your website in the spring because they need to boost their resume before applying to summer internships, etc. So then once you see your patterns, you can market more or less based on your peak seasons. And it also can help you market which channels you'd like to get into. And then I also created a Google Analytics account for Fairy Job Mother. I attached a screenshot of the most helpful tabs you can use on the page, and then I attached your login ID. But that screenshot's really important for someone that's kind of a novice with Google Analytics, is because those 4 tabs help you so much, and you can set it back to any point in time. So I can set it back for that website a year ago today and see how many people have viewed it, and it will show you a map of a lot of people from the East Coast are looking at it, or a lot of people from California are viewing it. So it's really actually helpful in that case. And then Instagram is also helpful too when it comes to measuring success. I noticed your Instagram is not a business account. I recommend changing that. Once you change your Instagram to a business account, you can see your analytics. So I looked at her Instagram, and there's no business header. So when you have a business account on Instagram, you can say let's say I have a spa company and I have an Instagram for it. It can be in your bio, a different section that says freelance massages or massage store, something like that. And once Instagram knows your business account, they'll offer a separate feature that can check analytics and how many people are sending your page, how many people are viewing it, stuff like that. So I definitely recommend that she does that. What channels are my competitors using to be successful? LinkedIn. Literally as simple as that. They're using LinkedIn Jobs, putting up postings, putting their bios as writers. So when you look it up, it's all freelance. My first recommendation is to change your city on LinkedIn. I think this will pull more clients if you say you're from Raleigh or the Charlotte area. Let's use myself as an example. I'm currently a college student looking to hire someone to help me with my resume. I'm from out of state, so when I looked up on LinkedIn, like I did earlier, I clicked Raleigh because I'm familiar with that city. I know of Burlington, North Carolina, which is actually the city that's in her bio right now, but I'm not as familiar with it. When I looked up when I clicked Raleigh, North Carolina, the first writer, which was Katie, who I had mentioned earlier, did only have like 100 or so connections. So I noticed that LinkedIn's not filtering who has the most connections. They're filtering based off city and like need. So here's another example. I'm from a small city outside Minneapolis. That is true. And I'm looking to hire a photographer to take my headshots. I personally would be more inclined to hire someone if they said they're from Minneapolis over the small town I actually live in. This is because I assume if they work around the city, they probably have more experience. And that can go for a writer as well. How can I be successful in marketing? Reach your customers. Many colleges have parent Facebook groups. Try to get a shout out in them. I recommend helping a current underclassman you know at Elon. You should give them a discount if their parent will give you a shout out in the Facebook group. For example, my daughter Lily had an Elon graduate, Chandler Vaughn, help her with a professional LinkedIn page. I highly recommend her. Lily was dissatisfied with the Elon Career Center, so Chandler stepped in with flying colors. Her website is blank. Honestly, I truly believe these parent Facebook groups would be of asset to you. Do you have cousins or high school friends that go to different colleges? Have their parents give you a shout out? And try to do this for as many schools as possible, because I know my parents really push me on getting my LinkedIn prettier or clearing up my resume. They're always trying to get me to go to the Career Center. So if you put this in the parents' pages, it'll definitely give them an incentive. You mentioned on our call earlier that you used to work at the Career Center. What did you not like about the Career Center? Use those cons to market yourself. That is key. So I've personally gone to the Career Center at my school and asked for LinkedIn help and was disappointed. Like, I get it. So use what you didn't like there or what your peers didn't like going to the Career Center as a way to market yourself, like as why you'd be of asset. TikTok. I noticed on your Instagram you have a lot of TikTok like videos, but when I looked you up on TikTok, I couldn't find anything. I recommend still posting on TikTok and making videos like, hey, are you a college student looking to refresh your resume? Is your college career office not really helping? Let me help you. Or you can try to post hashtags like Elon, Wake Forest, High Point to try to attract the algorithm to cater towards people in the area. I recommend. How can I retain customers in the long haul? Package deals. You offer different plans and prices on your tab. I think it would be an incentive for a customer to use your services if you added like a 1-year LinkedIn checkup or cleanup, or like a 1-year resume tweak, because a lot of people get new jobs in a year and then a lot of them add new, just like describing stuff to the resume, and then it throws the whole organizational off. So maybe if you did like a package deal where you could do like a 1 or 2 year check-in. You could also, I also noticed on your website your prices are a bit confusing. On your book online page, it's a lot cheaper in different prices than your packages and prices tab, which makes sense because that's like packages I get. But if you have it all on one page and then you put like the cheaper stuff on top and then on bottom introduce the packages versus having 2 different tabs. Because I first noticed the packages, I clicked the packages and prices tab to figure out your prices before I clicked book online, when I realized that book online, like a lot of the prices were a lot cheaper. So that was confusing for me. And then maybe you could do like mock interview help. Once you help them with resume or LinkedIn, you could offer like a mock interview to give them tips, like if I'm touching my hair a lot or saying words like that. So I screenshotted like your packages as well, just for reference at the end. But those are all my tips and how to measure success, and then what your competitors are doing and how to stand out. I really, really, really hope this is helpful for you. And Caitlin, I hope you get a better look at my suggestions, and please let me know if I need to change anything before I send this over to Chandler. Thank you.